Hey, what's up, guys? Today, we've decided that we're going to be making Facts Don't Care About Feelings a series on our channel. So it's almost like a weekly podcast thing where we just discuss things happening. Not necessarily world issues, but can include sometimes. For the most part, we tried to keep it lighthearted-ish. Last week we did the poetry thing, but this time we're going to be doing something a little bit more serious. We just saw like a very interesting video about Shane Dawson. And there's just a lot of like drama happening in the beauty community, which is, most of it's pretty stupid, I think. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but let's just, I guess, start with what we saw about Shane Dawson, and then we can go on from there to the other thing.
Okay. Wait, or do you want to like talk about our initial feelings and maybe, I don't know.
Like, what do you mean?
Like, I mean, like what we felt before we watched this video and like, you know. Like, we just didn't know what the big deal was about Shane Dawson being canceled. We were just like, at least I didn't know too much about it. And, but obviously it's a big deal, so we decided to check it out.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry, I didn't mention. I guess remember that like we didn't really know. I think. Okay, let's just talk about what illusion I had. Okay, now I get what you mean. But here's what I thought before everything. I thought it was all related to money and beauty community. That was just my understanding of it. I thought it had to do something with some drama with Jeffree Star. With what did you think?
Yeah, I thought it was people taking what was branded as an offensive joke, an offensive comedy, in a different context into this context and like kind of saying, okay, this is a big deal, which, yes, like it makes sense that people say that, but also we should understand the context of like old internet, edgy place, comedies, weird and shit. So that was, in my head, I was like, that's the justification.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to be like, just too steadfast in my opinion. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, there's more to it than I guess what we thought there was. Okay, so we both just watched the H3H3 video about Shane Dawson. I'll show you which one. Sorry. It was the video that's titled "Why Shane Dawson Was Dropped by YouTube." So, by the way, sorry. Yeah. This is the video, why Shane Dawson was dropped by YouTube. I've heard, turns out, YouTube has stopped monetizing Shane's videos, by the way, like on all three of his channels.
Damn.
Yeah. So I guess justified. And I think it's a completely different issue also, just for YouTube to completely drop one of their biggest creators because of a controversy. Like, I don't trust YouTube, and I don't know how much they actually care about Shane Dawson as a person. I feel like it's just, like this is what's happening with everybody, and everybody hates him, so we're going to cancel him for a while until he is uncanceled. That's obviously my point of view. May or may not be true.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't know much about the YouTube ways in itself. I do know that some of the things they do are like I do not agree with. But no, I don't really. I feel neutral about the Shane Dawson thing. I'm surprised, but I'm neutral. Apart from that.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. So this is the video we saw. The why Shane Dawson was dropped by YouTube, and this is by H3H3 Podcast Highlights. We're not psychologists. We're not
No,
anything. We're simply two
exactly.
people. We're simply audience who's watching all of the shit go down, and we're like giving our opinions on them.
Exactly. And we are not perfect by any means. We don't have perfect views. We will probably change the things that we might say in this video. So it's, yeah.
Yeah. We're trying to be as open as we can. We're trying to be, this is just our opinion, controversial or not. We do not endorse pedophilia, racism, anything like that at all.
Nothing, literally. Yeah. It's crazy. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so Shane Dawson, what were your thoughts on that video?
Okay, that video. Okay. I've seen these allegations before because I really liked Shane Dawson at one point, and he was a big part of my life, whatever, da da da. And I think this happened during that stage, and so a lot of the internet was on his side, and I was also on his side when all these things came out.
Wait, 1 second.
Okay.
1 second, 1 second. You were like getting cut off.
Damn it.
Okay, now. Okay, you're back.
Okay. Sorry, what was I saying?
That Shane Dawson was a big part of your life at one point.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and then the allegations happened. And I think most of the internet was like on his side, and they were like, yeah, don't take the jokes out of context. Like, don't take this one podcast and then skew it. So, I think he was, or like, I think maybe before he had this habit of being as offensive as possible, which, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say it's okay because, I don't know, he is a creator. He should be more mindful maybe of the things that he says. I feel like anyone should. But I don't know. Like, what did you think?
I don't know. Again, it's pretty much the same thing as what you said, but so I'm pretty sure that the podcast that we're talking about, like I've heard it before. Like I used to listen to Shane Dawson's podcast. I thought he was like really funny. Sorry. Yeah, I thought he was really funny. I don't know. We were also pretty young. Like I was 16. Not even no, I was 18. Okay, I guess not that young. But like I was 17, 18-ish. When I was listening to him, I was just like learning how to form my opinions. And I like Shane Dawson because he had like this edgy, dark sense of humor. But yeah, like some of the things now looking back at it, it's kind of like it's a little concerning. Because why would you say like I Google naked babies? Like I don't know. Like maybe it was just a joke. It's still a little weird.
Yeah. I mean, like I've seen like apparently the actual podcast said that he Googled naked babies, and then he said that, but then he said I did actually, and then he just clarified, and they kind of took that part out of the video. But it's still a weird thing to say. Like even I mean, I understand that he was trying to be offensive, and I'm sure that was probably just to shock people and to like scare the shit out of his co-host. You're like, oh, look at me, I'm so edgy, I'm like talking about all these things. But I don't know, like I feel like this is just, again, I will probably regret saying this later, but I think we all make mistakes, because I know that at one point I was racist because of what people told me, things like that. And obviously now I'm like, whoa, those were not good things that I thought when I was younger. So I don't know whether Shane has changed. It's just that he doesn't talk about it anymore, which
is a good thing, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. And he's moved to a more normal comedy, thing, semi.
Yeah, yeah. I guess that brings us to like his new thing that he's doing now, right? Which is like making the docu-series about stuff, etc.
Mhm.
And they're interesting, but there are some allegations that the reason why Shane Dawson is doing this thing with Jeffree Star is mostly because it's all like a grand scheme to make money from palettes. So if you don't know, Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star, they collabed together to make the conspiracy theory palette, and yeah, they made a lot of money. They made millions and millions, maybe money out like from that. Shane probably made a lot of money from the docu series itself. You know, yeah. And a lot of people think that it's just like a big giant scheme in itself. It's all for money, and Shane knew what he was getting into. Yeah, for someone who's watched the docu series of Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson, it really didn't seem like that was the plan. Like it seemed like they collabed not because of not because of some intent to make a lot of money. Like it just doesn't seem. Have you
Mhm.
seen it?
Mm-mm. I it's not the initial Jeffree Star docu-series, right? It's the one that comes after, like about the palette itself. I think I might have seen like one episode, but I like completely forgot everything that happened in it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I honestly don't know. Because like I feel like when Shane entered the beauty guru world, I feel like I didn't relate to that.
Mm-hmm.
So I just like didn't watch him after that. But I think he started making like something scary or whatever it is, that one video in which he's like, oh, the ghost and the demon in my house, which I quite like. I like ghosty things. Um, so I started watching that. But I don't
Yeah, I don't either.
know. Hmm.
What do you think about Shane Dawson and like him black facing in the past?
Yeah. Okay. So obviously, okay. I have a lot of conflicting views about it. So it's not like, oh, I have this one opinion, I'm going to stick to it for the rest of my life. Like, I have a lot of, like, okay, well, like what he did obviously is bad because blackface is based on a huge history of oppression, and like actors or white actors who did blackface on screen acting just, acting out like harmful stereotypes. And that's why blackface is bad. But I'm Indian, and if someone did brown face, I wouldn't care. But that's just because there's no history like that of brown face being used to oppress us, right? It's just a joke. Um, so I look at it from 2 points. Like either Shane is contributing to this whole, racism, and he is a part of the problem, and he is spreading this kind of like, oh yeah, you can do blackface and call black people in your videos absurd and awful things. But the other side is he does not know what he's doing. And, like he's not educated about the oppression that black people faced. He's obviously has a huge amount of white privilege, and he's unknowingly using that and coming across as very dumb. um, but yeah, I don't. What do you think?
Pretty much the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I guess this is a little controversial, but like again, yeah, I can't really speak for black people because I'm not black. I'm brown. So I don't know how that would be. And I don't know, like I don't know. I don't know. This podcast is just saying it. We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I genuinely don't know, because it's not like he was, even when you go back to the history, right? Like, it's not like he was hiring other people, like, for other
Meaning,
roles and not hiring Black people. Like, he was playing all the parts
right.
himself. I guess where it
Mm-hmm.
becomes wrong is when you're playing a stereotype of a Black person. You know, and like, if a Black person does it, it makes sense. If a brown person plays the stereotype of a brown person, that makes sense. But you're telling me that if a white person tries to emulate my stereotype and says something like, "Oh, curry" or something, I don't know, I will be offended, because like, you don't know anything about me. Like, don't try to act like you know the stereotype. Don't try to act like you know what
Right.
my life is like.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Like, it's also the intent, right? So it's like, are they like genuine? Like, I don't know. Like, that's the thing. That's the thing with comedy. It's like, it can really, like, okay, there's this YouTube channel called Brandon Rogers, and offensive humor to the max, and I love his content. Like, he does whiteface. He, pretends to be a Indian doctor who's really shit at his job. Like, it's awesome. Like, I love all, like, and obviously, like, I don't, and he says a lot of awful things, but like, why do I like it? Like, why don't I think he's an awful person? Is it because when he's normal, he seems to be quite considerate? I don't know whether he holds these views in real life. You know what I'm saying? Um, and he's admired by a lot of people as well. So it's like, what is comedy and when is it bad? You know?
But here's the thing,
Yeah.
right? Like, when you are
Mhm.
doing comedy, you're already making a mockery of everything. So the moment that you put a stereotype in comedy and it's comic relief, it means that you don't take that stereotype seriously. You're making fun of it. And
Exactly.
that's when it
Hmm.
becomes not as offensive.
Hmm.
But the moment that you make something serious in context, and then you have someone from a different race emulated by someone of a different race, then that's when things get a little tricky, I think.
Hmm. Exactly. So where do you think? Because I have never watched any of Shane Dawson's
Mhm.
initial video, so I can't tell the tone of what it is, obviously.
Yeah,
But
no,
it's a weird thing.
definitely. I haven't either, so
Hmm.
I don't know. But yeah,
Exactly.
I have seen like clips, like small little clips.
Yeah, same. Like, from a video, I don't know. It was just like him. I think it was like him talking to like a black woman and saying, "Oh, you little monkey, something, something," and like, obviously in the context of what they were saying, and they were saying Shane Dawson is a racist. I think it was Kat Black's channel. She's an amazing YouTuber. I think you will like her specifically. But and she was talking about how it's like, obviously it's not right. Like, that was a very bad thing that he said. And like, in the context, I was like, oh shit, like, that's a really shitty thing to say. But I don't know if I'd feel the same way if I actually watched the video directly, because it is under the heading of comedy. So it's not supposed to be taken seriously. Or does it give off a different vibe that makes people think, oh fuck, this is actually offensive?
Hmm. There's also a lot about what we're learning now, right? Like, as time is
Hmm.
progressing, we're actually becoming smarter and we're knowing more about what comedians joke about. And when you talk about comedy, like, that's what it's a very complicated subject, because there's actually this theory that the things are funny because, like, it it releases a certain sort of tension, and that's what makes jokes funny.
Hmm.
Um, and and that's the thing. I think a lot of it also depends on the power, right? Like, who is allowed to ease the tension. So say
Hmm.
you're a white person and you've been oppressing other cultures for, not not that all white people oppress every culture, but like, say
But
you're, like, stereotypically, let's go back a few hundred years. You're a white person, you're oppressing all of these other cultures. And so you're oppressing Black people. And here's the thing, like, white people don't get to ease that tension. They shouldn't be allowed to ease that tension because they didn't create it in a way. Like you cannot joke about other cultures to make yourself feel better, almost, you know? So if you're a white person, again, back a few hundred years, you're a white person, and you've enslaved a lot of Black people, and you're just like, hey, I'm going to make a joke about this so that I feel better, so that it eases my guilt and my tension of the fact that I'm actually oppressing a big group of people, you know? So in that sense, white people shouldn't be given the power to do that, or any person.
Like anyone, who's using comedy to put themselves on a higher ground. That makes sense, because like in my head, like two different instances came up which like kind of support your point. So there's this person called Ricky Gervais, directed The Office, and he said some jokes about trans people. He's like, oh yeah, I identify as a monkey or a helicopter, and if trans people are allowed to identify as whatever sex they want, I should be too, and obviously that is a very bad joke in the first place. It's like, and it's also obviously being used to put himself on a higher ground, as if to say, oh, look at all these ridiculous people. But I feel like with Brandon Rogers' videos, everyone, like, he plays a lot of different characters, and everyone is just equally ridiculous and outrageous. So there's no higher ground. No one is better than the other. Everyone is just fucked and crazy. So, but yeah, so I guess that kind of like makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's why comedy should be fine, because the moment you try to emulate somebody else, right, that's when the problem strikes. So yeah, my point though was that should you dislike people on the basis of what they've done in their past, especially comedians, right? Because now obviously they're doing a lot of things that we're realizing, but it's not just look at one comedy show, oh my god, how could you, there's this guy called Neil Patel, I think, was his name, and he went, wait, I think it was a shit. Hold on, let me. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Neil Patel. That was his name. Neil Patel. He was like on SNL Live, that stuff, and he went to some Ivy League school, and he was talking about how he was making jokes because he was invited to make, like, he had an hour worth of show, and he made this joke saying, hey, what was this joke? Yeah. Like, you wouldn't want to be a Black gay person, because who would choose that upon themselves, right? And this lady comes up to him, and she's like he's probably like in the first 15-20 minutes of his show, and then one of the students comes up to him and then cuts his show, and it's like, hey, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to leave, because apparently what he said was offensive, right? But all that he's doing is actually representing the minority by saying, why would you want to be a Black person who is also gay? Because you are disabled in society.
Exactly. It's more of it's more of a jab at society than it is at people who are Black or gay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, look at how ridiculous our society is. Like, we have these different levels of privilege, and oh, God forbid you're one of these people, society will and like hate you, and like that's society's problem.
Exactly.
Yeah. And also I think it depends on the context. Like, what was he saying before that?
Well, he's a brown guy, okay? Like, I don't mean to, like, change too much about race, but like, he is someone who is brown. So I think, although obviously we have been to other countries and we've lived there for a while, and we've also experienced maybe a little bit of, I don't know, like brown phobia.
Midget. Yeah.
Yeah, like even in Singapore, like it's there, you know.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Um, so I once had someone like keep an eye at like on me in the store, in some store. I don't know. It was here in
Wow.
Canada. I was like, I mean, I didn't really say anything, but it happened. The bottom. I don't know if it's about it. I don't know if it's my race or if it's. I don't know what it could be. The fact that I'm a girl.
Or maybe like your hair color is so sexy that like, we'll keep it on. She's a good one. Yeah.
I think it was when my hair was dark. So.
Oh, I mean, also, I'm just anything.
But whatever it was, like, I guess my default was to kind of, yeah, like, and they were also like white, so I don't know. I don't know. But maybe the store person was just like a very obedient store person. Maybe it was the fact that I was young. Anyway, maybe could feel. I don't know. The bottom line being like, I have felt a little bit discriminated against in Singapore, in Canada. And like, that's fine. I mean, it's not fine. It's not fine. But it's like, been through it. I don't know what my point was. I don't know where I'm going with this.
Well, it's like it's not as
Oh,
crazy as maybe what the people who are African American experience in America and the UK.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing, right? Like when you make a joke, when you learn to Japanese, and here's the problem: people who don't understand that the society is being Japanese. And again, I don't mean to be racist, like reverse racist or whatever, but I think the girl who stopped him from talking was white.
We have a Karen on our hands.
I don't know the detail. Like, I'm not 100% sure because this is a while ago. This is like a year ago. I was listening to this podcast and Joe Rogan actually spoke about it. But it's like, to what extent do you criticize people once they've made the mistake? Like what happened? Like if a comedian has changed now, do you still let them do things, or does their past, quote unquote, define them?
Exactly. Damn. Because I was watching a video again. Most of my information comes from videos on YouTube. But it's the same person, Kat Black, I think is wrong about her. And she was saying, okay, if there was a person in real life who made a joke under the guise of comedy, and that kind of offended you, you wouldn't, like, no one would say, oh, you should keep being friends with them. Like, just it's okay. You would, like, obviously not want to be friends with that person anymore because they make you uncomfortable, especially if they do it again and again. So just do. And it doesn't matter if like 15 years later they've changed. So she kind of applies that analogy to following celebrities who might be a little problematic. Like, it's like you don't need to like them, like you can just take away your support if you feel offended by what they're saying, which makes sense. But I also think it's a different thing altogether. It's like it has some similarities, but I don't know. Like, I don't know what that more is. Like there's something more, but I don't know how to describe it, or like I don't have enough information to like say what I think it is. What do you think?
I also don't know. Like there is, I guess, a part which is like, if you scrutinize these people and if you, I guess, quote unquote, cancel them, then other people will see and learn not to make that mistake. But then, if they get canceled and they come back, then people think then they can make mistakes and come back again. Or there's another part, which is you don't cancel the person, or like the person comes back after they've been canceled, and they'll just, I don't know, they'll just like maybe people think, oh, every mistake that you make isn't like a real mistake, and you can do whatever you want. You can almost like get away with it.
Mm-hmm.
So there has to be like that delicate balance between like, what is it that people are thinking, and but so much of it is just interpretation of the person themselves. So again, yeah, I don't know. But moving on, I guess this was the first 30 minutes, Shane Dawson. Let's move on to Tati.
Okay.
Okay. So the Tati drama about like the hair gummy vitamins?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I watched her entire video. She posted like this new video. She had like 2 ads on it, and she blamed that okay. So Tati called James Charles a predator, and yeah.
Okay. Like she didn't actually call him a predator, like directly. Apparently, yeah, exactly. And the people made the generalization that if he was a predator.
Yeah. And here's the problem, right? So that Bi Sister video, 54 million views. That was the name of the video, by the way, Bi Sister, which is where she exposes James Charles. Has 54 million views. Even if 1% of all of those views just buy her hair product, she's making millions out of them. And she has a hair product, like her hair, skin, and nails vitamin gummy, whatever. So some people think that the reason why she made the video and targeted James Charles is so that her sales would go up, because she got so many videos, and she didn't put any ads on those videos, which was nice, I guess. But at the same time, like, she did link a lot of her products in the description, and also that video had she spoke a lot about her product. So a lot of people think that that was in a way endorsing her own product.
Mm-hmm. What happened?
I gotta show you that.
Oh my god.
Wait, someone says, I think forgiveness should be a thing, but how do you know they're actually sorry, especially with celebs, because they have so much to lose? Exactly. Like, you never know, because Shane Dawson did make like a new video where he talked about like Jenna Marbles.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I have. And like, but I think I watched a bit and I was like, eh. But he wants to like, exactly. Like apparently he wanted to like properly apologize.
Okay, which was like, he talks about how he only made a video about he used to make apology videos because of fear, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now he doesn't do that, I guess. And this is like an actual apology video, which is, I don't know. Like, just to save yourself some drama, like, why would you even say that?
Exactly. I mean, like, I guess it's because he wants to be genuine and he wants to like, oh, like, somehow, I don't know. Yeah, that's the thing. Because even with cancel culture, like the thing that you said, like, when they come back, or even when other creators see that they're being, like, other people are being canceled, that doesn't eliminate their own biases. It just makes them better at hiding what their biases are. So I feel like every single person, like including me, including you, we all have our unforgivable biases, and it's either we express them or we don't express them. And so it's like where like I don't know. So it's like expecting a person to be perfect is maybe not something we should do, but also how do we? I don't know. Like what? Sorry, that's a tangent. I feel like I lost what I was trying to say. But basically, how does forgiveness fit into all of that? Like, then we forgive everyone or forgive nobody, like.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know. What do you think, Edwin? But I don't know. Anyway, back to Tati. So she's, great. I loved her so much. Like, I was always on her side. I was go Tati. I think when she came out with the Bye Sister video, it was just like, okay, you want to be involved in the drama, be involved, whatever. But anyway, so basically she targets James Charles. Her and James Charles kind of had a fight, I guess, because he promoted hair gummies so that he would get processed to Coachella. And Tati was like, how could you do this? Like, I thought we were friends. And she gets really offended by it and she feels betrayed. Here's the thing, right? The issue comes in this most recent video where Tati talks about how Shane Dawson and Jeffery Star manipulated her into posting that video. So apparently Shane and Jeffery would always just come up to Tati when they just like Shane Dawson was like, do you need help editing the video? I can help you out if you want. And he was like, so many people have come forward with these allegations. And Tati was like, no, that's okay. But like, and Tati thought that she was fighting for justice. Now that's what Tati says in this video. Shane Dawson goes on a live stream and he's like, hey, bro, Tati's lying. She's manipulative. I wasn't trying to do that. Jeffree Star hasn't said a word, by the way. I don't think he has, at least so far. And I think it's so kind of stupid. Because I think in this case, maybe Tati's trying to disconnect with Shane Dawson a little bit because of all of his allegations or whatever. But yeah, it's personally, I think it's really dumb because it's like, bro, like there are a lot of other things happening in the world. BLM, Black Lives Matter. Okay, something else that I need to talk about is Tati's ads, right? So she had 2 ads in her like most recent controversial video. I'll show you. You haven't seen it, right?
I don't. I think I've seen like the thumbnail. Probably watched none of it.
Okay, this one. This is, I'll show everybody. This is the most recent Tati video. And
okay.
Oh my God. And she has 2 ads on it. And she's like, all proceeds are going to be donated. But first of all, I need receipts. Like, show us that you're actually donating all the AdSense to this Spiritual Awakening Foundation.
Well, what's that?
That's some foundation she has very close to her heart, which is fine. But are you ignorant? Like, okay, I'm sorry. Well, I just don't understand how people can get away from the Black Lives Matter movement at this point. You know, like if you're putting ads on your video, why don't you just donate those ads to like something Black Lives Matter movement related?
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Wait, actually, let's just check now. I want to see if the
has she
Spiritual
like
Awakening Foundation.
Like, what is that? You know?
Yeah, Spiritual Awakening symptoms.
Oh my God.
Because if it's like a undeserving youth and okay,
okay, so that might include like
I don't know, maybe I don't know. I just okay.
Wait, what is it about? Undeserved youth. What? Undeserved youth?
Recipient of a prestigious recognition award. Okay, okay. Using tools of meditation, self-reflection, creative writing. then field-based research. Okay. All right. I guess that's sweet. See, this
So
is the
wait, is
thing.
it?
Like,
Mm-hmm.
I cannot be like, I don't know. I can't be like, don't donate to one foundation because one's better than the other. Like, that's obviously wrong. I feel like with everything happening in the world, maybe it would be useful to kind of, I don't know.
Maybe addition. I don't know. Yeah, honestly.
Like, that's why you can't really like say stuff. I just feel like just kind of add to it. But I'm not that kids are not deserving of anything, like, obviously. Yeah.
I mean, but has she posted any other videos before this, maybe in which she was linked, like she linked
So here's the
anything?
thing, right? She hasn't posted in 1 month.
Oh,
She
okay.
hasn't posted in 1 month. But let's go to her YouTube channel.
Okay. Let's do that. Tati.
You guys like saw my breaking my silence. Right? And then
Oh,
last video 2 months ago. Product fails, save your money, full face, Amazon, blah blah blah. And it's just like, really, you're telling me that you're gonna post a video about all of this, about your drama with Shane Dawson, with Jeffree Star, with, I don't know. Oh, it's and like, you cannot post something on your channel to make money for Black Lives Matter. Like, I'm not saying that she hasn't done anything. I'm sure she has. You know, knowing Tati, like, she's a big advocate for like more shade range. But it's crazy to me that she'd post something that's about 2 months after whatever she's gone through, that she'd posted about like all of the stuff, but not what's currently happening in the world, you know?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I mean, I feel like the mistake came from just these people on YouTube who think, oh, I have a platform. I'm gonna, whatever issues that I have with people, I'm gonna publicly say it in front of all my subscribers, and that's just how it'll be. It's not like, okay, I have a personal issue with this person. I want to talk to them by hook or crook or whatever it is, and just get it resolved between the people themselves. This is not something we need to know about. And obviously, because we are who we are, we're gonna see that and then get distracted because we're like, oh, drama. But is it worth it?
I'm honestly really happy because I'll go to the comment section of this Bye Sisters video or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all like, there are bigger things happening in the world. Oh, my. Yeah, hold on. I'm so happy that like there's some sort of like awareness.
Right.
Like, okay, Tati says whatever. This is me. But less YouTube and more psychological therapy for all. True. But can we arrest the police officers that, yes, like,
Oh my
why is
god.
no one talking about Brennan Taylor? She apologized, but then blamed others. At this point, don't trust anyone. This is so stupid. But like,
Oh my god, that's funny. We all entered this community to like learn how to do makeup, and this is what we do literally. Oh my god.
well, yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that her opinion is not important or anything, but
Yeah, no, I feel like we need to say that we're not like demonizing anyone. We're just saying that maybe there was some kind of lapse in judgment. It's not something that they should define their entire characterization and existence. We're just saying maybe like these people should actually think about other alternatives before they do things like this.
I think
Mm-hmm.
like YouTube makes people feel so significant
Mm-hmm.
that they actually think that they can take over the world. Like, let's talk about Gabby Hanna for a second. Oh my god, that I cannot deal with her.
And it's sad because I used to like her.
I thought she was funny because of how dramatic she was. Hold on, we have another comment.
Oh.
Yeah, she posted a video literally. I know.
Oh.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, she did post a video about Shane and Jeff. Like, that's all it was. It was like, oh my God, Jeffree Star made me do it. Shane Dawson made me do it. The real question is, would you have made this video if Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson were not in a tricky place right now? Or are you just doing it to show that, oh, I'm in no way associated with these people? You know, which is so ridiculous, because what happens when Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star are good again and they're back on track? Like, what are you going to do then? You're going to make another apology video saying, oh, I was manipulated by myself or something. I don't know. It's so fickle.
Like I was not thinking straight. Like, we can always give ourselves excuses. It's the moments we decide to take responsibility for our actions and stop blaming other people that we, actually show some kind of self-awareness, and we can put a stop to this never-ending cycle of she did that, he did that, I didn't do that, just the blame game,
I know. It's just, I don't really have anything to say. Go on.
Exactly. No, I was saying, like, I almost feel like this other video is kind of like necessary. Like, if anything, I would critique the first video because you didn't need to do that. Like, you could have tried to sort it out with him, right? But then obviously, because that now exists, and obviously you want to justify your actions, it's only natural that a second video comes up and potentially a third and a fourth because you started it. Is there any way to stop it now? We live in a society. That's not how it works. You can't press full stop and just, unless you leave YouTube.
But you can, right? Like, you can just come up and be like, hey, like, whatever happened, and I was associated with these people, and I don't know if they're good or bad. Like, right now, it's like, why does everything have to be completely connected to your character?
Exactly. It's like some IP shit.
It is some IP shit. Yeah, it's like IP EJ. That's Tati's an EJ, by the way. She's TE. So it's, and James Charles didn't make a video about it in the beginning, like Tati did. And it's like, dude, like, no one cares as much as you think they do. Like, do you not see that people are not looking at this as something that's real? People are looking at it as a source of drama. And like, and as a YouTuber, you have to realize that most people don't care nearly as much as you think they do. They may like make fan accounts. They may be like, oh my God, Tati is the best. And, oh my God, this person's the best. But like, it's not real. People have their own lives, and like, their lives are not dependent on yours. And you have to remember, at the end of the day, you're a video to them. You're not real. They're not connected to you in any way except for a video. Oh, there's
possibility that Shane is actually a pedophile. There are some clips of him that are being shared that look pretty bad.
Yeah.
Someone should check his computer. Yeah.
I'm still learning on but maybe someone should check his. Oh, yeah. Definitely. I don't know.
What do you think?
That's the thing. Like, I cannot say that he's a pedophile, or he's not, because I don't know him. But I don't know. It seems like what about Ryland? Like, I don't know. Like,
no, I'm just gonna come out and say I don't think he's a pedophile. 5 months later, I'm like, oops, sorry about that. Didn't mean. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I just think he's a person who has controversial views on certain subjects, and I don't know whether it's because he's trying to be offensive or whether it's because he genuinely believes in those things.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
And like, I get, like, okay, like, he talks about pedophilia being a fetish, right? And in the video that we saw, H3 podcast is like, oh, it's not a fetish, it's a mental illness. Which, yes. Okay, again, I'm not a psychologist. I literally know nothing about anything. Okay, just kill me. But um, it it may, because okay, human beings are attracted to different things sexually, right? And in that range, we can't deny that one of them is children, which is as horrible as it is. It's like, if you just take out any kind of social acceptance or anything like that, it's something that exists in our society. It's not something that's been, you know, it's still there because of natural selection in a way. It hasn't, so maybe it was useful in the past. I have no idea. Things were fucked up in the past. But we live in a society, and it's a modern society, and there's a lot of things we need to let go of. And maybe this is one thing that'll die out. But again, I don't know if it's because of genes or environment. That's a whole other issue. No idea what pedophilia is caused by.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I don't know about the genders, but the reason why men prefer younger women is because they're more fertile.
Yeah, we have all. Yeah. So it's.
But I don't know about the babies thing. That's really weird.
Yeah, exactly. So I think maybe what Shane Dawson was saying is that when he uses the word fetish, I think he means it's something strange that a human being can be attracted to. And but of course, it doesn't fly in society. It's a horrible thing because you're essentially exploiting children. You don't exploit a foot, or you don't exploit an armpit. Like, I don't know what people are into. But you can exploit children. Yeah, no, we're not. This is 2020. We're not kink shaming anyone. We have kinks.
Okay.
But it's, but we can't because it's.
Oh my God.
What happened?
Okay, you're back. Yes, sorry.
Oh no, shit. I'm sorry. Well, what was the last thing that you heard?
You said we can't.
We can't.
You don't exploit an armpit.
Oh yeah. So I mean, I think what he was trying to say by using the word fetish is that this is something that exists within our society that people are attracted to. But of course, fetish is the wrong word to use it because you use fetish to talk about something light, right? Not as, because obviously children are not supposed to be on social media in the first place because it's kind of like the right to privacy, let alone be sexualized, because again, it's like they don't know anything about that and they don't know what they're doing if they're doing anything sexual. So that's just an exploitation on the part of the person who is a pedophile. So like I kind of get what he's trying to say, but I don't approve of any of the execution, like the execution of the idea.
Yeah, and I don't know.
That was rambling. Sorry.
No. I think that was good, but I don't know. I was talking to my friend about this, and obviously, like, there's the victimization of the child, but like, do you have the control to control your fetish? Or not that I'm saying that this is a fetish, but like, you have
this attraction.
Yes, this urge. Like, do people have control over urges like these? Like,
yeah, that's
not. I don't know. Can you like not be turned on by something, but just if you know that it's bad? It's like it's a very animalistic instinct. Like sex in itself is just it's very primal. It's not exactly thought out. You think people want to have kids? They know that they're not going to have kids. Like,
yeah.
But people get pregnant all the time. It's not because they want kids. It's because
there's something. It doesn't drive. It's very exactly, and like that's why, like, personally, I don't approve of like the demonization of pedophiles. I think they should be helped. Like, it's obviously a mental illness, and and I think it's because of the demonization that a lot of pedophiles are like, I can't control this, and if society thinks I'm the bad guy, I'm the bad guy. I don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna do all the things that other bad pedophiles do, and that might be their downward spiral. But if maybe society was like, okay, come to us, like, go to psychologists, you need help, this is not okay, maybe they might be a little bit more willing to actually get help.
But then, okay, now thinking about like H3H3 podcast, right? And how he was talking about like the control power dynamic thing. Like, do you think like narcissists are more likely to be pedophiles? Because like you need to really have not a lot of self-awareness to understand how bad that is, and people who usually
like,
lack a lot of self-awareness are sociopathic,
I feel
narcissists. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I feel like they know how bad it is. Like they know. That's why they do it on the deep web in like untraceable, in untraceable ways. And that's why they go like private chats with younger people, because obviously they can't be like, hey, does any younger person want to hit me up? Because they know that it's really bad. And at least they know society thinks it's not. There's a difference.
But are they doing it for self-preservation, or are they doing it because of guilt conscience? Because I don't know, is pedophilia really related to this control thing?
I don't know.
There's definitely trauma involved in it. Like there has to be, like no sane person's gonna be like, oh, I had a kid, I want to,
Oh, sorry. 1 second.
No problem. Yeah. Wild. I'm actually gonna check that out. Let's look at it together, everybody. So,
Okay.
all right, yeah. Oh, I have to go, but this was fun. Thank you for the entertainment, the NP. But thank you for watching.
Wait, what are the NP vibes?
Like XNXP.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah.
We have that vibe. Okay.
Thanks for watching.
Joining us.
Great.
Yeah.
It's great. Great interacting with you, Edwin. See ya. Okay, but I just found something out.
Mm-hmm.
Look, so this apparently pedophilia is in the DSM-4, or I guess
Mm-hmm.
DSM-4 categorized pedophilia as a disorder only if sexual fantasies and urges involve pubescent children defined 13 or younger, and if they last at least 6 months, and if the individual has marked. Okay, did you read that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then there are key points such as apparently pedophilia is a sexual orientation and unlikely to change. Treatment aims to resist, and then no intervention is likely to work on its own. Parents should be aware that in most sexual abuse cases involve children. Yeah. So,
Damn.
damn indeed. So I don't think Shane Dawson's a pedophile. Also, I was gonna say.
Yeah, no. I feel like he
Um,
just has controversial views on it.
but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, we were talking about Tati and Jeffrey and Shane and that whole thing.
Yeah, didn't we finish talking about that?
Did we finish? Honestly, I forgot.
Oh, shit. Okay, I think it is already like an hour long, so let's leave it at
Okay.
that.
Yes, we're not answering questions here. We're only asking them. You know.
Yes. Okay. Thanks for watching, guys. Whoever saw, stayed. All right. Bye-bye.
Stay safe. Wear masks. Have fun.